Hi class, today I'm going to be doing case study number 25, Tabloid Tiger, which is about Tiger Woods. So a little bit of background about him. He was born in California, and by the age of 5 he was featured on Golf Digest, and he also won numerous amateur awards. He went to Stanford University, and after 2 years he quit and became a pro golfer. So a year later, he also won his first major golf tournament, and in '97 he was number 1 in the official world golf rankings. So he moved up very quickly. He became so successful that he was able to sign multiple endorsement deals with brands such as Gatorade, Nike, also a luxury watch as well. And by 2009, his earnings were estimated to be about $1 billion from endorsement deals, appearance fees, golf prizes, and his design business. So what happened on November 27, 2009, he crashed his car at around 2:25 in the morning, so he was rushed to the hospital. Then hours after that crash, TMZ.com, they began reporting the details of that crash, and it surfaced that his wife approached him in the hospital and asked him about his cheating scandal. So the next day, the allegations that his wife had confronted him about his alleged affair became public, and that she was also responsible for domestic abuse. 2 days after his accident, the National Enquirer, they ran a cover story which was called the Tiger Woods Cheating Scandal, and that had details of his affair with Rachel Uchitel. So she was a New York City event planner. After that surfaced on December 1st, Jamie Grubbs also claimed to have about a 31-month affair with him, so that propelled the events, and more girls started coming out that they had affairs with him. So why was PR needed? PR was needed obviously because of the scandalous events that were connected to the pro athlete. He also had a lot of endorsements and advertising deals with several large companies. So if his image went spiraled down, so would the companies that are endorsing him. So yes, like I said, he would negatively affect Nike and Gatorade. So he began to lose his endorsements, and that posed a huge problem, only because only 7% of his earnings were from on-course earnings, and the rest were from other companies. So with the growing number of women coming out about the affair with him, companies started pulling back their commercials featuring Woods. They were started to taking down ads and canceling his Gatorade actually canceled his Woods-themed drink because the sales declined that much. Vanity Fair also published an in-depth article detailing his affairs with porn stars, models, and waitresses, and also his gambling habits. So they went into extreme detail with that article. So the PR tactics and objectives. So the objective was obviously to clear the air about the scandal, try to keep it private, and admit the wrongdoings. There was no reason for him to lie since it was all out. The tactics that were used were primarily press conferences and website statements. They didn't really do anything on social media. What was posted on his website landed in the news as well. So he didn't really need a lot of PR with that. So he stated that he was recovering from the crash, that he was imperfect, and that there were many rumors and false statements circulating these scandals, so he was debunking them as well. On December 2nd, so the day after Jamie Grubbs came out about their affair, he issued a second statement on his website, and he asked for privacy and that his personal issues not be presented to press releases and news outlets. So I think on December 11th, he announced his indefinite leave of absence from golf, and that he would focus on, as a quote, being a better husband, father, and person. And there were also skits on Saturday Night Live, and other news broadcast stations were airing details of his affair, which is why he announced his break. In February 2010, he attended therapy, and after that, he made his first public appearance since the scandal got out. The news conference was in Ponte Vedra Beach in Florida, and he debunked again any rumors about domestic violence, and he praised his wife because a lot of people were saying that she allegedly hit his car with a golf club and scratched him when he was in the initial accident. And he also had a detailed apology but did not take any questions, and that is what people wanted most. So to reiterate that, I think that was a good PR move because it cut it short, and they gave the public what they wanted. They wanted answers, but he also did not answer any questions, but he would answer questions later on, and that would be about 5 minutes, and he would accept any question. So he was also able to directly address the rumors of the domestic violence and finally put the blame on himself. And he didn't lie and try to digress the situation, but rather owned up to his mistakes and promised to do better, which was also another good PR move because there was no point in lying and no point in saying that the women that came out were falsely accusing him, because there was evidence, and that would just bring his image down even more. So at this point, like I said, lying and telling the public wasn't going to do anything. And so he continued to offer media interviews and restricted the questions to 5 minutes. And I believe that this was also a good PR move because he was satisfying the public for their needs for questions, because obviously so many people had so many questions about what was happening and how he was handling this. So currently, he operates his foundation, and he opened a sports bar and a full service golf course design. So obviously he's still doing pretty well. His wife divorced him, and since then the public relations scandal has died down. There were a couple of articles I found online saying that the ex-wife has moved on and she's living like a quiet life, meanwhile he is still doing his endorsements as well. And just going back to what they could have done, I believe that they could have just done a little bit more of maybe like a radio appearance. Social media wasn't really popular back then, so obviously they wouldn't be able to do anything about that. But I believe that the conferences and him showing face and the statements on his website were sufficient enough. And just a couple discussion questions. Do you think that there should have been more done to quiet the media around the scandal? He did say several times that he wanted his privacy. Do you think that that was right, or do you think that the public has a right to know as well? Do you think that the conferences and Woods' statements on his website were enough? And if you were responsible for the upkeeping of his image during the scandal, what would you have done?